Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Sabbath to everyone. This morning, I am going to tell you one of my favorite stories, and it tells about one of my favorite soups. I hope everyone's ready because you're about to find out what's my favorite soup aside from bulalo. There was once a comfortable little village nestled in the mountains. The people who lived there had enough, more than enough actually, to keep themselves content. One day, two travelers came along. Their coats were tattered, their hats were torn, and their dusty old shoes, it has holes in their soles. Hungry and tired, one traveler, who is an old lady actually, she said to the other, "Surely someone here can spare a bit of food." They knocked on the doors. They knocked boldly on the door and it creaked open like that. And a woman answered and said, "What do you want?" The old lady said,
"Oh, please, we are hungry and tired. Do you care? Will you share? Is there any food that you can spare?"
the old lady said. The woman squinted her eyes and said, "No," and she shut the door right before their eyes. The travelers walked a little further down the road, and they reached another house and knocked on the door. A young boy answered. His chocolate brown eyes were sweet. "Good day," he said. "What do you want?" the little boy said. The old woman answered the same thing.
"Oh, little boy,"
she said with voice shaking,
"we're so hungry and tired. Oh, please, do you care? Will you share if there's any food in your house to spare?"
the old woman asked. But the boy replied, "There's no food here," he said, and closed the door. The travelers wandered all throughout the village, knocking on every door. But everywhere they heard, "I don't care," "I won't share," "There's no food." Soon they got weary and tired. They sat to rest beside a well. One traveler sighed and clutched his aching belly and cried, "If there is really no food in this elegant little village, then the people who live here is in greater need than we are. We should make them our magical soup." Can you guess what the magical soup is? Well, we're gonna find out. The two travelers climbed on the edge of the well and shouted, "We are master cooks. If any of you on this town has a big black pot, we will make the most delicious soup anyone has ever tasted." And guess what? One door slowly opened. A round man emerged carrying this gigantic black pot. "Ha ha ha! I love food," he said. "Let's see what these two travelers can do with it." "Watch and see," the traveler said with glee. The travelers filled the pot with cold water, and they built a fire. Soon the flames licked the sides of the pot, and billows of steam rose into the air. The village people began to gather around. "What is happening?" some said. The townspeople asked, What are you doing? The old lady replied,
We are making this unusual soup. It requires a certain magical ingredient. I am certain we will find it in this town,
she said. All the eyes in the crowd watched with eagerness as one of the travelers reached down in his pocket to get, guess what? An ordinary stone. He tossed it into the pot with a splash. The old lady said,
We are making stone soup. It will be nutritious, delicious. It will be incredible, but edible,
she said. She further added,
But it would taste better, she sighed. If only we had a carrot. Where would we find a carrot in this town?
she asked.
We knocked on every door, and everywhere we heard was, I have no food, I don't care, I won't share, there is no food. So I guess we won't be able to cook this amazing soup after all.
And slowly they turned away. Suddenly, a child timidly raised her hand and said, Wait, I may have something. I think I may have a small carrot.
Excellent, the old lady said. Well, bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We are making stone soup. Stone soup,
she said.
The magical soup will taste even better if we had a potato.
A voice from the crowd said, Potato? I think I may have a potato.
Wonderful, the old lady said. Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. It would taste even better, still, if we add a few more ingredients.
Perhaps, said one voice, I could bring a green bean. Another mother said, Well, if you're gonna bring a green bean, I might as well bring some sprigs of parsley. I can get you a kernel of corn, another voice said. One by one, the voice announced, I'll bring a pinch of parsley. I can bring a turnip, one lady said. The old lady said,
Well, what are you waiting for? Bring what you got and put it in the pot. We're making stone soup,
she said. One by one, everyone in town ran home to bring one small thing to put in the pot. Food flew splish and splash inside the pot. Soon the huge pot was full and simmering. A wonderful smell drifted through the air. The smell was so tempting that people put out bowls and spoons and chairs and tables and put out loaves of breads and chunks of cheese and a bowl of fruit. Everyone came to taste the soup and marveled at its flavor. It's amazing, one villager said. These two travelers made such a delicious soup out of stone. And the old woman said,
a stone and the magical ingredient.
What do you think is that magical ingredient? Should we ask the old lady? Old lady, what's the magical ingredient of that soup?
It's called sharing.
As the travelers left the town that day, they said, "If anyone wants to make this soup all over again, just remember the recipe." And that is what? Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. Now, boys and girls, little children, as well as children at heart, remember, every bit counts, from the largest to the least. Together we can celebrate a stone soup feast. The end. Well, boys and girls, remember that we can all share, we can all show that we care, even with the little that we have, that we can share. Because when you make someone happy, God will reward you eternally. Thank you.